Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 11. I hope everybody had a good spring break. I hope the semester is off to the second half of the semester is off to a good start. It's going to be a short video today. I just kind of want to lay out what's happening for the rest of the semester since we didn't last week was spring break, so we didn't have a topic to discuss. But first, I want to let you know that I've graded your midterms. So the grade that you see now on Canvas is your final grade for the midterm. I've went in and I've graded all the short essay questions by hand. If you have any questions on that, let me know. I also want to say that if you didn't do as well in the midterm as you had hoped, don't sweat it too much. It's only 20% of your grade. If you do well in the participation, you're doing well on the quizzes, and you do a good job on the final paper, you'll be fine, right? So even if you didn't get the grade that you had hoped to get on the midterm, don't sweat it. Also, the last day to drop the class, if you're finding out that the class just isn't working for you, or something in your life has happened or something like that, the last day to drop the class with a W is March 26th, which that's this week. So if you need to do that, make sure you do it by that deadline. Okay, so in the syllabus it says that I was going to break you guys into new groups, but I think I'm just going to keep you in the same groups for now. I think it's working pretty well, so we'll stick with that. So just keep doing the discussions in your new groups, or I'm sorry, in your old groups. And we're sort of switching topics as well, right? So the first half of the class kind of dealt with the presidency, and we were sort of tracking the presidential elections and the presidential nomination process. But for the second half of the class, I want to focus more on the Constitution. So the paper we're reading this week is sort of about the Constitutional Convention and sort of the framers of the Constitution and how they actually went about getting things done, right? And we obviously there's a lot of mythology surrounding the founding fathers in the United States. So looking at this article helps to dispel some of the mythology and actually look at them as real people. Right, so it's a really good article, so I think you guys will enjoy that. Yeah, and then we're just going to be following up on that, right? So we're going to be talking about the Constitution, how it was drafted, what were some of the ideologies behind the Constitution, how did they arrive at, the Virginia Plan, the New Jersey Plan, the Connecticut Compromise, all that sort of stuff. How did that all shake out? We're also going to talk about actually getting the Constitution ratified, right? Because not everybody thought that, as much as we praise the Constitution today, not everybody thought that the Constitution was the greatest thing since sliced bread, which they may have not even been sliced bread at that point. But anyway, you know what I mean, right? Not everybody at that point was on board with the Constitution, right? So we had this group who sort of rose up against the Constitution and wrote essays called the Anti-Federalists. We'll talk about the Anti-Federalists a little bit. And then we'll look at the Federalist Papers, which were the Constitutionalists. Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay responded to the essays by the Anti-Federalists by writing the Federalist Papers, is what we call them today. They weren't called that at the time, but it's a list of essays that were published to refute the Anti-Federalists and defend the Constitution. So we'll look at some of those as well. And then finally, we'll talk a little bit about federalism itself. What are we talking about when we're talking about federalism? What does federalism look like today, right? And, do we still have a strong federalist system? So those are some of the things that we have coming up. I guess the last thing I want to mention in today's video is the final paper. I have listed on the syllabus that I'm going to provide you with a list of topics, which I'm planning to do this week. So I will have the paper guidelines and the rubric up this week, and I'll send out an announcement to you guys when I get that paper guidelines and rubric up. But if you want to come up with your own topic, I want you to let me know by April 1st, right? So we can at least go back and forth on that, and see if it's a legitimate topic or not. So be thinking about that. If it's something that, if you want to just go with one of the selected topics, which I'll have up this week, then that's fine. But if you want to, sort of go your own path and examine a topic, a topic related to what the subjects that we've covered in this class, primarily the presidency, the presidential elections, and now going into the Constitution, federalism, then let me know. Let me know by April 1st, and we can just shoot me an email, and we can work out a topic. Okay, so that's really it for this week. Once again, I'll post our discussion question tomorrow. It'll be on John Roche's Reform Caucus in Action. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the discussion post. If you have any questions about the midterm, if you have any questions about the final paper, please feel free to shoot me an email. Have a good week.